Good afternoon, everyone. It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean. Now let's also get the sleeping dog in the shot. Always a joy. Okay, making sure I get this started early so that you have time to put on music, to gather a variety of weights. If you don't have any weights, but you do still happen to have some heavy cans, bring them along. If you don't have any weights and you don't have any heavy cans, that's okay. You can just really think about contracting and engaging your muscles as much as possible as we go through today's workout. I have no water in my building right now, so I feel a bit like a mess. But you know what? That's not going to stop me from working as hard as possible and getting a quality sweat on today. Because we're going to do 4 sets in slightly different time than usual, I really want you to make sure that you have some delightfully cold water nearby. Cold water is super great at helping to cool your body's temperature down during these challenging workouts, so something to think about. Yeah, I think that's about all I have to say for now. We're gonna get started in 4 minutes. If there's any stretches that you know that your body needs, go ahead, start just moving, start warming up right now. I promise we're gonna get super warm together, but definitely there's nothing wrong with starting early and honoring whatever your body needs today. If you find you need to take some extra breaks during today's class, take those extra breaks, come back in when you can, and if all you have is 10 minutes, get those 10 minutes, make them good. All right, I'm gonna find some water for myself. Keeping it fancy. You know, I've got my at least 16 ounces of water in my awesome wine cup, because you know what? You need to do whatever you can these days to spark a little joy. So for me, since I'm really not drinking much alcohol, enjoying some water in a fancy glass makes me feel fancy, makes the day feel awesome, pinkies up. You know what I mean? Okay. I'm just playing that music in my mind since I can't play any music for today's class. But I'm up, I'm on my feet, I'm away from my desk, giving myself time for today's workout to feel good about making this time for yourself. I know sometimes when you're really busy, deciding to take time to work out can be a real challenge, and maybe you're doing it and you're feeling guilty about other things that you have on your plate, but you should not feel guilty because you are worth it, and your physical and mental health are also worth it. So making sure that you do take that time to get up, to get away from your desk, to find some movement. Movement is medicine, and it's healing, and with challenge comes change. And I think that these days we could all use a little bit more movement for medicine. So take this time right now to tell yourself you're amazing, you're worth it, you're here right now, and you're gonna have a great workout today. Whatever it is that you bring to the table, your best is always enough. And I know if you're here for whatever amount of time you're gonna hang out with me, that you're doing your best. So congratulations. I know sometimes when I do my personal workouts off camera from you guys that I'm so proud of myself when I finish a really hard workout. You know the ones like today that leave you just putting it all out on the floor, sweating it all out. And you know, sometimes I feel a little emotional when I finish working out. I've totally cried with pride myself this time for getting those endorphins going. Also, we're going to sweat so hard that if you find yourself crying with pride, hopefully nobody even notices. All right, it's 12:15. So if you're just joining me right now, we're going to get started. As I'm moving right now, just some nice little lateral side-to-side step taps. A gentle little swinging of your arms back and forth, just starting to warm up that upper body. Hold on one sec. Do-do-do-do. All right. Do-do-do-do. Keep stepping side to side. We're going to come into a lateral step tap with a nice little side arm raise right now. Think about squeezing those shoulder blades together, pinky stretching slightly towards the back of the room, and start to engage that abdominal core, drawing your belly in. Let's go for a double step, 2 to the left and 2 to the right. Just doing your best with the space that you have today. Hopefully you're already starting to feel it a little bit in your upper body shoulders. I know I've been working out really hard, feeling a little sore even here as we get started. Switch back to a single step for 5, 4, 3, 2. We're going to switch to a hamstring curl. Let's change our arms to a nice pull behind us. Think about pointing that knee down towards the floor. I'm not just kicking my heel towards my butt, because if I just kick my heel towards my butt, I feel nothing. But if I find a little bit more of a stretch back, like you're trying to push the door closed behind you, I feel those glutes engage. Keep it up. Squeeze those elbows back for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gonna go into some shoulder circles, individual shoulder circles, keeping that nice little side tap. Both arms. Change directions. Make sure you're still drawing that belly in nice and tight. Single arm. Four more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stretch those arms out to the side, opposite toe tap. Think about squeezing those shoulder blades together, keeping as flat of a back as you can. Let's get 4 more, 2 each side. Last 2. Bring those hands down to the floor. Bend your knees. Bend and lift. Bend and lift. You might want to open your feet out a little bit wider. I pointed my toes out to the side. 5 more. 4, 3, 2. Hold it down here. Go ahead, transfer those hands to your thighs. Drop one shoulder forward. Keep the weight in your heels. Drop that other shoulder forward. Send your hips up. Just reach towards one foot. Walk your hands to the opposite side. Reach towards your other foot. We'll take one more big forward lean. If you don't feel a stretch with your fingers on the floor in front of you, you can turn your fingers backwards and start to walk them between your legs. Sometimes to get a good stretch here, I like to find that little bit of a bend and then come back into a straighten. If your hands are starting to walk behind you, you're bringing a little bit more pressure into the balls of your feet. For 3, 2, 1. Bring those hands back in front of you. Let's slowly roll it up, 1 vertebrae at a time. Awesome. Come back into your lateral side-to-side step tap. I'm going to show you our first set of moves. We are going to work with, I think I set the timer for 40 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. Can't make any promises. 30 seconds of work. Oh my gosh, you're welcome. However, we're going to do 3 rounds in a row. So no No big breaks. 30 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, just to change your weights out if you need to. And when we're finished with this, we're gonna move on to something else. So our first couple of moves, I'm starting off with my lighter weights, just keeping in mind that we're still gently warming up our bodies. So with my feet about shoulder width distance apart, I have both of my hands up by my chest. We're gonna alternately press out into a weighted punch. Just punching to alternate sides for our first 30 seconds. You get a 10-second break, you can shake those shoulders out. Then we're gonna find a little bit of a bend in our knees. Alternating uppercuts. I want you to really look over your opposite shoulder, starting to work a little bit into those obliques. And you'll notice I'm slightly hinged forward for this one. I'm not standing up straight and putting any extra pressure into my back, and I'm making sure that those knees are bent and my belly is pulled in. So I'm protecting my back and working that core. Our last move is going to be an alternating side lunge. Step back in, give yourself an overhead press, and then other side leg lunge. That's it. Those are our first round of moves. So using those lighter weights to begin with. Grab them, set yourself up. Maybe take a quick sip of water. All right, let's get started. 3, 2, 1. Alternated punches. Find that little step tap with your feet so you can feel a little bit of an engagement in your lower half. And if you have some music going and you have a beat that you can follow with your music, you might be moving a little bit faster than me. And that's okay. Then maybe these weights are really challenging and a weighted punch is not something you've done before and you need to move a little slower. And that's okay too. I want you to not keep your hands, take a break, hanging out there in your punch though. We're gonna bring it right back. Set yourself up for our uppercuts. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Feeling this a little in my upper back as well. Oh my gosh, it is hot in here. Make sure you're still breathing. Really make sure you're lifting those weights up too. Take a break. We're not just hanging out right here. We're getting that big uppercut. Next up, we've got that side lunge and then an overhead press at the center. Begin. Side lunge, weight in your heels, hips go back. Step it up. So you're only stepping out as far as you can step it back in. And if you want to work a little bit harder here, you can press up onto your toes at the center. And if you want to work even harder, you can give yourself a hop at the top, but get those arms and weights up first, then add that hop in. I'm just gonna give myself a little press. 3, 2, 1, 10-second break, and then we're coming back into those punches. In 3, 2, 1, here we go. Just punching about shoulders height. But remember, you're getting it out and you're bringing it right back in. So we're not hanging out with our arms out in the punch. Woo, who is starting to sweat? You can hear my sweaty feet sticking to my mat a little. I'll try and step off it. All right, get ready for those uppercuts. No, I want to see you. 3, 2, find that little hinge belly in. Make sure you're getting up like someone's right next to you and you're bopping them in the chin. You're saying, hey, I need you to stay 6 feet away, bro. Give me my 6 feet. Try not to just let momentum swing the weights. Really think about using your core to find this twist. Oh my gosh, so much sweating already. All right, coming up next is our second side lunge into overhead press. 3, 2, 1, begin. So we got lots of overhead presses coming up today. Each set has its own version of an overhead press. I would rather that you move a little bit slower if you need to focus on not swinging your weights. 3, 2, one more round through of these, you guys. Y'all, I meant. Get ready for those punches right now. We're gonna extend the length just a little bit for round 2. Just a little bit. And then we'll come back to 30 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest for round 3. Warning, we have one extra move in round 2 and round 4. Heal me now, air conditioning. All right, awesome. One more time of these uppercuts. Shake out shoulders for a sec. Begin. Finding that rotation of your core. Make sure you're lifting that weight. Biceps are working just a bit here too. Ooh. Welcome back, Uncle Buck. Oh my gosh. Yes. All right, last move of this round, then we get a nice little break. We've got our side lunge into overhead press. 3, 2, begin. Side lunge. Reaching down as far as you can today. Maybe you can tap all the way to the floor. Maybe you're just finding a little bit of a reach, and that's okay. You gotta challenge yourself though to see a change. If you are looking to change your body, you can't just be going through those moves. You gotta work hard. You gotta sweat. Make it work. Yay! All right, let's take a full minute. I'm gonna even set a timer to totally just relax, shake it out. In 1 minute, I will show you the moves for round 2. I'm also gonna find a towel and wipe my face off. But remember, sweat is good. It is our body's way of cooling us down. Grab some water. You're sweating it out. So a lot of times during workouts, I know especially during hot yoga, sweat can be a distraction. And it can also be a comfort because you make an excuse for yourself to take a break, to wipe your sweat, and then you know what? It's gonna come right back because it is your body's cooling system. So just like we say in other yoga classes, especially yin, really work to find that focus, be in the moment, enjoy the sweat. That's why you're here. All right, let me show you what's coming up. Round 2. Who does number 2 work for? Hopefully you. We're gonna increase the time of each move to 40 seconds because we're worth it. We're gonna keep that 10-second break though. So we got a total of 12 rounds here. Oh, we're amazing. Okay, here's what's happening. The very first move that we have, you're gonna bring one weight with you, and I'm switching to a heavier weight. All right, so we're gonna come down here, and you can either be in a plank, or I'm gonna do it this move from a modified plank right here. So the same weight that you have your hand in is the leg that's going to be working, so I want that leg extended behind you. Our combo move is you give yourself a row, hand comes back down, you give yourself a leg lift, and then a mountain climber. Back to row, squeeze your glute, leg lift, mountain climber. Awesome. And if you can do that tripod with 3 points on the ground and that back knee lifted, you are welcome to work a little bit harder right here. Then we're gonna stand up. We've got some jumping jacks. We got some cardio mixed into this one. 40 seconds of jacks. If you wanna work even harder, you can bring along some of your lighter weights. Go for a straight arm jack, add in an extra little set of overhead presses. Then we're going to come on down and do the other side for our plank, our back leg glute lift, and our single mountain climber. When we stand up, overhead presses are definitely coming into our last round. We've got a burpee. Challenge yourself as much as you can, but add in an overhead press and, oh, I guess I should start up here. A nice overhead press with or without weights. And then at the bottom, I want you to put in a push-up. Yay, super cardio here in round 2. Let's bang out these 3 rounds and then move on to something else. Okay, so come on down onto your mat, starting down here on our mats. You decide which side you would like to start with. I would like to start on this side. Pick a weight that works for you. It doesn't have to be incredibly heavy. Be mindful of your body today. On this row, bringing that weight really close by your rib cage, elbow drawing directly behind you. 3, 2, 1, begin. Single arm row, plant it down, straight leg lift, mountain climber. Row, lift, bring it in. Can you tap your knee all the way up to your elbow? Nice work, you're more than halfway. If you need to move a little bit slower, that's okay. I really feel my opposite leg working to stabilize here as well. That glute is equally burning. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Stand up, get ready for those jumping jacks. I'm gonna do my first set weighted. 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna step off my mat so you don't have to hear it. Stay light on those toes. Keep that belly pulled in. You got this. If you don't want to hold on to these weights, you don't have to. Remember, just getting those heart rates up a little bit. 3, 2, 1. Awesome, come on down to the floor. We got the opposite side for our single arm row, straight leg lift, and mountain climber. Find that flat back and begin. Row, lift, climb. Now, you might find that one side is much easier than the other. Oopsies. Also, remember, we just talked about how you are lift, mountain climb, stabilizing on one side while working the other. So if you can't remember which side you're doing right now, and start with that next time around. Three, 2, 1. Awesome, stand up. Come to the top of your mat. We got that burpee with push up and overhead press. 3, 2, 1. Overhead press. Step or jump back, push up. Now maybe you need to move a little slower on your push-up. I know I do. Being smart for the body I have today, I'm bringing my knees down. Well, focusing on bringing my chest to the mat first, not just bringing my belly down. I told you, really focusing on upper body, shoulders today. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, if you're on the floor, stay down here or make your way down. Coming right back into those planks with a single arm row. I'm gonna bring a heavier weight nearby. All right, begin. So remember, trying to start with that side you finished with last time. I hope you're not saying, Jessica, you're so mean today. I'm not mean. I'm doing this because I love you. I care about you. I care about your physical and mental health. And I want you to make sure you're not always just doing the easiest thing. So today's sets, really mixing it up a little bit longer in our periods of work. Yay, stand up. I'm not going to use my weights this time. I'm going to go for a traditional jack. I'm going to bring a heavier weight nearby for those upcoming burpees. Here we go. Jack it out. There is so much sweat on my glasses right now. Make sure if you're doing a jack, you're finding as much extension as you can. And you're breathing. And if you need to modify this move out, remember, you can always just step it out. You can work a little harder by bringing in those side leg lifts. 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Make your way down to the floor. We've got that other side. Row, raise, climb. 3, 2, 1. So really do your best right here to keep that grounded hand just about under your chest. Try not to lean all the way to that side. It's tempting. Oh, you guys are doing great. We are more than halfway through this circuit. 10 seconds left right here. Then we got those burpees. Are you bringing that elbow and knee to touch? Yay. All right. Stand up. Get ready. Overhead press. Push up burpee. 3, 2, 1. Step or jump back. You can step back if you need to. But ask yourself, what can you do? Can you jump back? Maybe try it once. Can you jump forward? You never know unless you give it a whirl. I don't care what it looks like. It might look real ugly at first. Let your workout look ugly so you can feel beautiful after. 3, 2, 1. Ugh. Okay, hang out here. One more time through. You choose which side you start with in 3, 2, begin. Row. Find that lift. Bring that knee up. The more that you really pull that belly in, the more balanced you're going to feel right here. The less of a wiggle wobble between lifting the weight and lifting your leg. And if you need to move a little bit slower to focus on having that core engagement, oh my gosh, the burning. 3, 2, 1. Yes, stand on up. Last time of our jacks. 3, 2. Gonna go back to these overhead press weighted jacks. You're welcome. This is the second workout we've done this week with overarm press weighted jacks. So close, y'all. Less than 3 minutes of work to go before you get an ice break. Yay, come down to the floor, last side for our row. Leg raise. Mountain climber, begin. Press that hand palm into the floor, engage your back. Make sure, oops, wrong leg, that you don't have a lot of rounding of your back here. We're simulating that plank form still. I know I'm getting tired. I feel myself leaning towards my planted hand. Just doing my best to counterbalance there. 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Finish that move. Beautiful. Find your way to your feet. Last time through. Burpee, overhead press, push up. Wow. Begin. So maybe even for your push-up, if you're really focusing on working that upper body, you don't come all the way down to the floor. You can bring that chest forward first, maybe a little baby push-up to make sure that you're not just losing the contraction and dumping into your belly. 10 seconds left. Whew. Working so hard right here. For 3, 2, 1, we made it. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. Wow. Grab yourself some water. Gonna start our 1 minute of total break timer. Total break, just drink that water. Don't even need to think about exercise. Starting right now. And in 1 minute, I'll tell you what's coming up for round 3. Oh, lost the timer. Are you drinking water? Are you drinking water? Do you have something else you like to drink during your workout? If so, I'd love to hear about it. I know before my workout, I like to enjoy me some coffee. Word. Our total break minute is over. We're doing amazing with time. All right, let's come on into our next round. We're gonna stick with these 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. All right, so next up we have a Romanian deadlift into a squat and then an overhead press. We're gonna do our RDLs a little differently each 3 rounds. So starting off first round, we're gonna have our toes in line with our heels, so feet like a number 11. Round 2, I'm gonna ask you to create some pizza feet, but when you create your pizza feet, as we come back into our squats, I want you to make sure you pick those heels up and bring them back in. Same thing for round 3, having our toes pointed out for our RDL, whoops, and then we're gonna twist them back in, squat, weights come to hand, overhead press, weights come down, RDL, lift up to shoulders, squat, stand up, overhead press. That's move number 1. Move number 2, we're gonna come down on the floor. We're gonna bring one weight, so you get to let one go. Take a slight lean back, and just work on a little overhead press right here. The more that you lean back, the more you're gonna challenge your abs. But I don't want you to lean back so much that you find yourself rounding here. So better to stay upright and just press from here and keep this chest open and your back nice and engaged and straight than it is for you to round all the way down, because then you're gonna lose out on any sort of abdominal engagement. And then move number 3. Alternating side raises to a front upright row. So I'm gonna come to a lighter weight. We're gonna alternate side, side, upright row, elbows lead, side, side, elbows lead. Yup. Burning up that upper body in round 2. So keep a variety of weights nearby for whatever you need. Sticking with 40 seconds work, 10 seconds rest in 3, 2, 1, begin. So Romanian deadlift, weights at shoulders, weight in your heels, squat, overhead press, back to your RDL. Now if you want to work even harder, as you come into this overhead press, press up onto your toes and then lower back down. Belly tight for this RDL. You can have a bend in your knees for that too. You should, in fact. Belly tight. Squat. You can see I'm really working to get some depth in my squat, bringing my elbows all the way to my knees. If you can, go for it. All right, hit the floor. Just one weight's needed for our lean back into our press. Keep those heels on the floor for a little stability, and then press. Belly tight. Now, if you've got a big back lead and you have that chest open and lifted and you're feeling awesome and you do want to work a little bit harder, you can always lift those legs up and be here in boat pose. And maybe you're just lifting one leg up. Maybe you're even alternating, tapping those toes on the floor. Whoa, that's hard. Gross, there's hair on my foot. Don't look at it. 3, 2, 1. Yay, stand on up. I'm gonna switch to my lighter weights for this next one for alternating front and side raises into an upright row. Here we go. My back is super engaged and my belly is really tight. Keeping those shoulder blades rolled down and back. Wow. So if you're starting to feel super tired here, don't stop. Remember, you can always just put your weights down. Focus on form this time around. See what happens next time through. If you have no weights in your hand, really focus on that squeeze as you reach each point. Squeeze. Oh my gosh. Yay, coming back into our RDL with our squat and overhead press. This time, toes pointed in for the RDL. Go. Toes point in, then you stand up, turn your feet straight. Squat, overhead press, optional, press up, turn your toes in. Turn your toes back. Squat, press, turn toes in. Turn toes out. Beautiful, keep it up. Find that inward turn. Squat, press. Do you feel that a little bit differently than you did with those toes straight? 3, 2, 1. Hit the floor. Bring your one weight. We've got our lean back and our press. Begin. Challenge yourself here, round 2. What can you do with good form? More with good form, what can you do? You're not just throwing this weight up, and you're not just allowing this weight to drop down to your chest either. You're moving with control, both up and down. Same speed up, same speed down. 10 seconds left right here. You've got it, you're worth it, stay with it. Awesome. Let's come on back to our feet. Alternate front side raises to an upright row. Begin. Keep that chest open, shoulders rolled down and back. Shoulder blades squeeze towards each other. You've got a slight bend in your knees. You can have your feet either separated or close together, whatever. Oh, I forgot the upright row. Whatever makes you feel most stable. Elbows lead on that row. You can slow down, you can drop your weights, but you're not going to stop. 5 seconds left. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Yes. Last time through. This time feet turn out for our RDL. Feet turn out, you'll turn them back in for your squat. Here we go. RDL, lift up, turn in, squat, press, turn out. RDL, squat, press. Challenging your balance a little bit here too. Asking you to move your feet to switch the weight from your heels, and then option to bring it up into your toes in this press. The more that you really pull that belly in tight, the easier all of these balance moves are going to be. 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Come on down to the floor. Last time through with your press up. 3, 2, 1. Begin. Maybe you can find a little bit more of a lean back this time. Maybe. And if you went for that extra lean back and you found that rounding, what are you going to do? You're either going to plant your feet on your lean, or you're going to lift that chest up a little bit more. One more move, then we've got our break. Still breathing, exhaling on that press up. Yes, make your way to your feet. Last time through, alternate front side raises. Oh my gosh. 3, 2, begin. Row. Just coming up to shoulders height for our front and side raises. I need to put this weight down. I'm going to switch to something lighter real fast. I know you hear me breathing hard. I want to hear you breathing from home. Keep that belly pulled in. Stay with me right here. We got 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I'm going to get that last row in. Awesome. Wow. Find some water. You got your 1 minute break. Think about nothing besides deep breaths and relaxing. Starting right now. All right, since we have a couple different moves to get through for this last set, we're going to go back down to 30 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, because I want to make sure that we do have a little bit of time to stretch together at the very end. Ay, 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 ay. So let me start just telling you what's coming up next, because we got 4 moves in our next round. Starting down here on the floor, gonna get those glutes slightly involved. You're gonna bring your heavier weight, or the heaviest weight that you can use. We're gonna have our knees out wide and our toes pointed in slightly for this next glute bridge. You're gonna press up, give yourself a, oops, I'm gonna need to move down. Press yourself up with your arms up overhead. Give yourself a fly, come back in, down, up, out, in, down. If you are really feeling it and you need to take out a move, take out your fly and just work right here, keeping this overhead press and a little bit of a glute bridge hip raise. All right, next up we have alternating back lunges with a twist. So standing on up, bringing your weight with you. We're gonna step back, whichever leg you have in front of you, extend, twist to that side, step it back in, out, extend, twist. Beautiful. The next move is, weirdo squat. I'm not gonna bring my weights with me for this weirdo squat. We're gonna come on down to a squat with our fingers by our ears. Easier version is just squatting right here. If you wanna get in your overhead reach this time, your goal is to tap down on the floor behind you. So really coming into that squat and finding that stretch. And our last move down here on the floor, either being cool to yourself, kind, and you're just giving yourself a tricep dip or staying lifted. We're just gonna tap our opposite ankles. All right, so starting with that glute bridge chest fly in 3, 2, 1. 3 times through. We've got this, you guys. Press up, find that fly, and down. I have my toes slightly pointed in towards each other, just to get a little bit more engagement through those legs. Remember, we've just got 30 seconds of work for each move. All right, next up is our alternating back lunge with twist. Make your way to your feet. Move as fast as you can. 3, 2, in the transitions, move as fast as you can. Back lunge. Whoa. Extend, twist, bring it in. Back lunge, then extend, twist. So I want you to make sure you get this lunge form. First, weight's in the ball of your back foot, front heel. Your knees aren't going past your toes. Working all the way till the end of class today, y'all. Yup. I'm gonna ask you to stick around for an extra minute or 2. Take a break for that stretch. Come on. Nice wide leg goddess stance. Fingers by your ears. Squat down. Here we go. Easier version. Tapping elbows to your knees. Harder version. Reaching for the floor and an overhead reach. Oh, I need to stand up for a second, shake it out, and come right back in. 10 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, hit the floor. Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay, coming into those tricep ankle taps. I'm gonna give myself an extra little tricep dip between each. I'm working a little harder, keeping my glutes off of the floor too. My fingers are in the direction of my feet. Elbows are going back directly behind you. Keep breathing, keep moving. Yes. All right, stay down here on the floor. Knees wide, toes in, weighted hip drive. Begin. Arms up, either just going for this glute bridge hip drive or adding in this chest fly. We've only got time for one more time through of this round, you guys. Only 2 times through, not 3. Want to make sure we get that stretch time in. So important to make sure that you stretch after your workout. You don't just finish and walk away, because I want you to feel good and be able to come back the next day. Stand up. Alternating back lunges with that twist. Begin. Step it back, find your lunge, or just stepping back today. Maybe you're being kind to yourself and you're just stepping back right here, pressing forward and twisting. That's okay. That's great, in fact. I would so prefer you take a modification that works for you. As long as you know you're working hard, you're finding that challenge. Awesome. One more time with these squats like a weirdo. Open those feet nice and wide, toes point out, fingers by your head, and come on down. So I don't have my fingers touching my head. Think about going for that. Reach for the floor behind you, extending your arm up overhead. One last time. Keep the weight in your heels. 10 seconds left. Ooh, gonna shake it out for a sec. Come back in for 5, 4, 3, 2. Yes, come on down to the floor. Oh, last time through with these tricep dips. 3, 2, begin. Dip, Do you find this a little bit easier than that straight leg kick toe tap that I tend to encourage? Let me know. Or is this just as challenging? 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay! Just gonna take this battery out so we don't have to hear that. Let's go ahead, open your legs out nice and wide from right here. Find a little bit of a forward hinge. Keep your hands on the floor. Flex those toes back to your face, starting off with a nice stretch on the back of our legs. I know, I'm sorry that we are going a little bit over today. Thank you for bearing with me. Lean towards one of your feet. Extend whichever arm is the same as the leg and reach up and over. Find that nice side stretch. We really worked into those obliques today. If you can, take this straight arm and bring that elbow in towards the floor. Open up just slightly towards the back of the room instead of collapsing down to the floor for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, lift yourself up. Let's come on to the other side. Ooh, I am sweating like I'm getting paid in it. I hope you're really feeling this burn right now as well. Awesome. Inhale yourself up. Bring those hands behind you. Oh, very nice. Great work today, guys. Swing one arm in front of you. Bring that shoulder a little closer towards your chin. Still pulling that belly in nice and tight. Go ahead, open those arms out nice and wide. Switch to the opposite side. We'll just find one more stretch right here. Inhale those arms up overhead. Bend one elbow. Nice little tricep stretch. Reach those fingertips towards the same elbow. If you want, you can even come into a nice side stretch again. Inhale both arms back up overhead. Bend your opposite elbow. Beautiful. Both hands come up. Go ahead, come into tabletop for just a moment. Shake it out, shake your tail, shimmy those shoulders, find any circles or additional moves you want. Remember, you don't have to get all of your stretching in right now. There is no shame in stepping up from your desk for 5 to 10 minutes to get a little bit of mobility in, especially if you're feeling tight. Go ahead, tuck those toes under, send your hips up to the ceiling. Walk your hands to your feet to your hands, and slowly roll yourself up. At the top, take a big inhale, bring those arms up overhead. Exhale, relax your arms down by your side. One more time, bend those knees. Inhale, stretch up, reach up. And exhale, relax your arms down. Great job today, everybody. I hope that you are feeling as amazed and energized and wet with sweat as I do right now. If you have any questions or concerns, if you have anything else that you feel like your workouts are missing, let me know. I would be so thrilled to include them in the future. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, whatever day or time you watch today's class. Thanks for coming.